Welcome to alsherbs.com, the oasis for your wellness journey. Our mission is to promote good health and reduce the risk of disease by providing a holistic approach to well-being. From the soothing scent of lavender to the invigorating kick of ginseng, we've got you covered with a wide array of herbs, supplements, and wellness products. Imagine the power of nature, harnessed and delivered right to your doorstep. That's the alsherbs.com promise, and it's a promise we're proud to keep. Shopping at alsherbs.com has truly transformed my life, says one of our satisfied customers. The quality of their products is unmatched, and I've never felt better. And she's not alone. Countless individuals have found a one-stop shop for all their wellness needs at alsherbs.com. It's made a world of difference in my life, another customer shares. And what's the secret to our success? It's simple. We believe in the power of holistic wellness, and we're committed to providing the best products to support your journey. Whether you're boosting your immune system, seeking natural remedies, or enhancing your fitness routine, we have everything you need. The path to a healthier, happier life is just a click away. Visit alsherbs.com today and experience the transformative power of nature. Take the first step towards a vibrant, fulfilling lifestyle. alsherbs.com, where your wellness journey begins.
Hey you guys, this is Courtney Camaro. I'm outside of Muhammad Ali's real original home. We're in Chicago, and I wanted to shout out Al's Botanics and Herbs. Man, when I tell you, I am one of those people that has insomnia. I can't sleep. I can't focus on some days because I'm so sleep deprived, and this has helped. This is one of the mixtures that he has that helps with sleep.
Crashout 2024. Why are people crashing out? Okay. What is going on? Why are people crashing out? If you notice, a lot of people are crashing out. What do I mean by crashing out? For the people that don't understand, the olders, it basically means someone just kind of giving up and just going berserko and just doing things to put themselves in a bad situation, in a permanent situation where they can never recover. That's the definition of crashing out. Okay. It's many ways you could crash out, though. It's various forms of crashing out. But I'm going to talk to you about some different strategies on how you can avoid the crash out, how you can kind of, deal with that a little bit better, and avoid crashing out. So first of all, as far as the idea itself of crashing out, basically, there's a lot of people in the world. It's over 8 billion people in the world, I believe, at this present time. A lot of human competition. America is changing as far as demographics. It's leaning more towards basically Latinos and Hispanics. At one time, African Americans were the leading minority in this country. Now, last 10 or so years, it's been primarily Hispanic. So a lot of Black people, a lot of people outside, non-Black people are facing that level of competition of having unskilled laborers as well as skilled laborers compete for job roles, compete for management roles. So in that experience, people are in situations where they may or may not be doing well due to a lot of factors. That's just one factor. The other factor is wage increases typically have not increased reputable to the housing cost or cost of living. The correlation between labor wages and cost of living costs are pretty unparalleled. They're not in correlation with the cost of living. The cost of living typically is higher than, basically someone that works even double the minimum wage. Because what is the current minimum wage? First of all, let me find what the current minimum wage is. And this varies probably state to state, but the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. That is the current federal minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour. So with that said, roughly $7.25 times 160, you got basically $1,000 a month. That is not going to allow anyone, including a single person, that much in life. I mean, you think about, okay, if I, basically make just enough to just pay rent, and that might not even be enough to pay rent, depending on where you are. In the Midwest, that's enough to pay rent, but you won't really have much left over after rent. So that opens the door for you most likely probably having to apply for welfare, or some type of monies towards being able to take care of other things that basically your employment won't cover. Because even at $1,160 a month, that's before taxes. So once taxes take out the money of that $1,100 a month, you probably will be left with about $800 a month. And again, that's even not enough to barely be able to pay rent. It's just not. So even to be honest, let's just, even for hypothetical cases, say that you make double what the minimum wage is, which let's just say you make $15 a month. Okay, you take $15 a month, and then you times that by 160, which is normally about a full-time job is 80 hours in a 2-week period, or 40-hour work week, and then times basically 160 is two-week 80-hour work weeks. So that will get you 160. So even if you made $15 an hour, right? So that's $2,400 a month. After taxes, probably you'll say you'll be left with about $2,000 of that $2,400. Now, again, you would be very challenged to still be able to pay your rent and come up with money for, utilities, for transportation costs. You'll still be coming up short. To be honest, even on double the amount of the minimum wage, federal minimum wage, you won't be able to cover most things. You'll be able to cover some things, and this also depends where you live. Obviously, certain areas the rent is higher. You wouldn't probably even be able to pay for rent. So let's just take this even further. So let's say you make 3 times this minimum wage, which roughly that would give you're at about, let's just say $22 an hour. Now you're at $22 an hour. So that's times $160 a year. I mean, a month. Sorry. You're still challenged. Okay. 3,500 minus taxes. Roughly you're at about 3,100, $3,000, just a little bit over, a tad bit over $3,000. Even still with this income, you have some challenges because basically your most of your money will go towards housing costs. And again, this depends on where you live. Even in the Midwest, let's just say Indiana, in Illinois, you'll probably spend a good third of this income on housing costs. So, and that not includes, again, utilities, also insurances that you have to pay, all of the budget items that you would have to normally pay. This wouldn't include everything. So basically, again, the wages that are being paid, that are being offered, usually is not enough to cover the cost of living. Okay. So with that being said, it brings on a level of pressure for the average person. It brings a form of pressure where basically things on the bottom here in the middle, it gets really, really challenging. It gets really, really challenging because you don't have, at that point of, if you're somewhere on the lower spectrum or even in the middle, towards the middle, you have some type of financial distress. This is like the financial distress zone. So like right in the middle here, this is like a lot of financial distress. And depending on where you are in the country, it might even reach higher to this upper class area, because like 120K plus is not much to pay for everything in certain markets, like the East Coast market, whether it be the DMV, and definitely New York, New Jersey area, Miami, California, Los Angeles area, also definitely San Diego for sure, in a lot of different areas. 120,000 a year is not going to it's going to have you struggle slightly, a little bit, or quite a bit, depending on your area that you live. So you got to understand, these different levels bring you a certain level of financial distress, that it brings you to a point where you kind of susceptible to being a crash out. You're willing to take risks. You're day in. You got to understand, day in and day out, people have stress from working jobs, from basically going back and forth to work, dealing with social issues at work. There is a lot of stress in those avenues. So those that are trying to basically work a job and provide some type of income face a lot of stress on a day-to-day basis, because they are not making ends meet, and they don't really know what to do about that. They don't really have some type of solution for their problems. So it becomes a situation where people are, basically just falling victim to crashing out, because of how society is and how competitive it is to make ends meet. Okay. So I'm going to play some things so you can get a kind of a correlation of what I'm talking about and kind of what's going on. I'm just kind of laying the groundwork here, but we're gonna see what is going on. Another thing as well is you got to understand is that basically a lot of people don't have enough faith. A lot of people have strayed away from the church, and they might have had the right idea about it as far as all of the negative stuff that happens in the church and happens in religion. But one of the things that people forgot is, okay, it might be okay, or the idea of not going to a church or not going to a mass year or whatever. But where people dropped the ball was, in my opinion, they just gave up every aspect of it. And it's like one of the things that I think people fail to realize is that, okay, you can kind of give up the idea of going to some type of religious center and being around people and all of that. But at least, at the very least, it's nothing wrong with you having some type of faith, in a sense of kind of similar to Abraham or Adam, or even Noah, or just basically people that were around when it wasn't that many people around, basically. And they just had faith. They had a personal level of faith with the creator, where they had some type of personal faith without people around, without having to go anywhere. They had a personal level of faith where no matter where they are in the world, they have that faith. People have lost, I would say, faith, right? They have, left religion, but they haven't been taught faith, or they don't know faith. So without faith, basically believing in something, believing in a higher power that is something that can make you go through the hard times, get through the hard times per se, having some type of groundedness of knowing that it is something bigger than what you think this world is. And it's something that is powerful, that regulates the planet, makes things possible when you don't think it is. Like it's that's very, very important in order to ground yourself, to not, basically crash out. It's important to have that. If you don't have faith, and a lot of people I find online and stuff like that, and I definitely know for the most part, I do understand a lot of people do not have faith, and you can tell. And I'm gonna be honest, one of the qualifiers for a good mate, okay, let's just say a prime woman, I call them a prime woman, is definitely strong faith. A lot of women that are faithless, those tend to be women that are on the level of this, subprime, tend to be. Okay, I'm not saying this, I'm not speaking in absolutes, but things that I notice as far as being a qualifier of a good woman, a woman that is very, very steadfast in her faith. Okay. Again, if you're not, again, going somewhere to some religious center, you kind of anti-religion or whatever, I admit that I am I'm in that camp where I'm not religious. I believe that culture is very strong. I think culture is stronger than religion. you know, and the reason, and I could talk about that if you care to, for me to expound upon that, just let me know, and I'll make a video about it and explaining why culture is stronger than religion, okay, or even ethnicity is stronger than religion. Now the thing is that even given all of that being said, okay, I think that reading a Bible or reading a Quran or reading whatever you are into as far as your faith is something that, you know, you don't necessarily have to go anywhere to do. But I think a lot of people have thrown out their Bible, thrown out their Quran or whatever, and they just basically turn towards savage life, you know, just basically, you know, waking up, taking a piss, and going to sleep, you know, without any thought in the world that there's a God, there's someone out there that, you know, or something or some power out there that's regulating the world, regulating the universe. I mean, that's a lot of what I think people are pretty much how their existence is. Now, this goes into, you know, also the four types of men. Okay, when I say men, I mean women too. Um, it takes a certain level of wisdom and understanding to know, to have faith, to have that understanding, that groundedness to get through hard times. Now, that being said, going back to my book and why I'm talking about this and why I'm talking about my book is, you know, basically taking steps towards this, towards trying to have a better financial life. You might not necessarily become a millionaire, but having a better financial life. This book and the contents and the strategies in this book will definitely help you with that. It's helped me, it's helped others. And one of the things that people fall victim to is their own financial problems, basically their lack of savings, lack of a financial plan. Those two problems are pretty much solved by following the tenets in that book, the Millionaire Savings Plan. So, you know, it's kind of like a financial. I look at it as my financial Bible. You know, it's my Bible that I use to deal with this financial system, and it's very, very successful. I've found a lot of success in it. I wish I would have known about it when I was younger, and I could have been a more financially ahead than I am now. Now, there's other things that involve crashing out. Just because you have money doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to crash out. You see people with money crash out all the time. Faith is definitely important as well. That's the tenets of my channel: faith, health, wealth, knowledge of self. Okay. So when it comes to basically, you know, why people crash out, one of the things that I said in the last 20 or so minutes, I mentioned the universe. We're just on one planet. Okay. We're in a universe. We're in a universe surrounded by other planets, a sun, other moons that those planets have. It's not just us in the universe, and that's it. It's planets that are moving around us. A lot of people are not in or not understanding of astrology, of the universe, the Milky Way, the galaxies, different galaxies, and, you know, the sun, the power of the sun. You know, basically, there's certain elements that play a role in people's behavior. I do believe that. You might not believe that, but have a I do see a correlation with how the universe is, how the gravity is for the day, how the weather is and how people act. When I notice, and I say this time and time again, this is probably worth $1 million worth of knowledge to understand about, like, basically astrology and also different retrogrades. It just puts you on a whole nother level of, like, you know, almost like, I want to say matrix like where you see or know what nobody else knows. And like you can see the whole world around you crashing out, like, and you know what the hell is going on. You absolutely know what's going on because you understand astrology. You understand that there are retrogrades. There are these retrogrades again, influence how the world and the universe and how people react to it. So when a basically a retrograde happens, a lot of times people don't have any idea what's going on, have no clue on what's going on. They just know that basically it's a retrograde, and that's it. That's all they know. Actually, they don't even know it's a retrograde. My mistake. I'm just kind of playing around with these different layouts, but they don't even know it's a retrograde. They don't know. That's why people are crashing out. They don't know that a retrograde is on the horizon. It's coming within like a couple weeks or a month away. And when the retrograde comes in, one of the things I notice is people start going crazy. People start crashing out even more. And I'm not going to lie to you. It was a time that I used to crash out. I've crashed out many a times. And when I got older, I got wiser and I started understanding different things. And I started to notice basically things going on interplanetarily affect how this planet reacts to other planets in the universe. And once I knew that, that was the $1 million worth of knowledge that I needed to be like, okay, during this time, it's going to be challenging to talk to people because a lot of people may not be getting enough sleep. A lot of people might be under a lot of gravitational pull or gravitational energy and are going to be under severe amounts of stress. I know that because I did the research. A lot of people, what I'm doing now is I'm giving you free insight and knowledge that you don't have to do. You could do the research yourself, but I've already did it for you. I'm trying to let you know, yes, when these things happen, it affects other people and how they basically deal with this gravitational pull that happens during a retrograde. And it's other planets that are involved in retrogrades. It's not just Mercury. Mercury is just one of them. What's going on, Seeking My Creator? So when these retrogrades a lot of times happen, things start to go down. Now, the elite, I'm going to tell you something. The elite knows about astronomy. They know about astrology. They know about basically retrogrades. And they do certain things during retrogrades. Like, for example, during the Aries retrograde, you'll see some missile attacks. You'll see some type of missile attack, or you'll see some type of military action, because Aries is the god of war. So during the Aries retrograde, you'll see some brutality that you probably haven't seen in a while. Hypothetically speaking, that's one of the things that I noticed. During the Aries retrograde, it was a Middle East bombing. During that time, period of time or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely something that the elite definitely know. The rich, the super ruling elite, they know. The esoterics, the secret societies, all of them, they know about astrology, astronomy, and a lot of them know about retrogrades. Definitely know about retrogrades. And I'm trying to tell you because I want you to be successful. I want you to be in the know. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is this. So a lot of people are definitely crashing out. A lot of things are going on. A lot of stress is on the actual country at this moment. Like again, a lot of immigrants in the country. What they do is they undermine the lower classes and also bring stress to the middle class. The upper class, the true upper class, the millionaires and billionaires, they don't really face that much stress from any immigrants coming in. Actually, to be honest, if you're an elite, if you're a millionaire or better, right? You utilize these immigrants and make more money from their labor. That's what the elite make money off of, the immigrants coming in, low human capital. Okay. So the elites, that's why they want the immigrants in the country in the first place. That's one of the reasons, because they provide a cheaper basically labor costs, and they don't care about the fact that you're struggling trying to keep a job or struggling to pay bills. They don't really care. They don't really care about that. They can care less about that because um basically they already have the wealth, they already have the riches. Okay, so they got the money already. You're trying to work tooth and nail, trying to make ends meet, trying to work a job. They have enough momentum, enough money to basically not have to work. Okay, not have to deal with labor competition for labor. They don't have to worry about that because they already have wealth and resources. They make money again off of immigrants. Those are the people that fix up their apartment buildings, build real estate, rehab existing real estate, do the landscaping. you know so they want them in there. They don't care if it undermines you being middle class or lower. They don't care about you getting undermined because they don't even live around you. you know they don't. So um they don't they have no concern for they only concern maybe possibly their neighbors. You're not their neighbor. Okay. And they probably don't even concern themselves over their neighbors, to be honest. I mean, but the thing is this is why they're over here. That's one of the reasons. And then also, um, the reason why there's so much competition, because it's a lot of people coming over the border every single day. Um, they're trying to replenish, the dying demographics as well. That plays a role. And all of that makes more traffic. You get up or go to work, it's all this traffic. Uh, you know, it's competitive to get a job. You're trying to pay the bills that you already have. You're trying to, make ends meet with, a low wage, or lower wage, right, than what you know you should be making. And you barely can even get a job, right? You could barely even find work. So a lot of people again are crashing out. So let me play a video here, show you an example of kind of what the mindset of some individuals are having, such as, thinking about giving up, you know, thinking about calling it quits, you know. And it's really mental. I will say this is definitely mental. Most of this is mental. 90, higher, I'll say about almost, 100% mental. So mental level of frustration. It's really just mental. This is a rich country. That, basically, that it's money. You just can't figure out get it. You just can't figure out what to do in order to get it or tap into it. So it's frustrating. You don't understand why. I know I'm smart. I know I went to high school. I graduated high school. I know I can probably qualify for a job better than what I currently have, but you just can't figure it out. You can't figure out how to financially compete in this global market, this global economy. You just scratching your head trying to figure it out.
Good afternoon. Today is still Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. I am back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And this is an email topic from bigward@myyahoo.com. bigward@myyahoo.com. If you have something you would like for me to discuss, a business venture, a money-making opportunity, hit me up, bigward@myyahoo.com. Thank you. So this one, it says, I'm a 35-year-old man. I have 2 kids from my ex-girlfriend, 5 and 7 years old. At the moment, I'm a forklift driver and I make $14 an hour. Ooh. I saw your video a while back saying most people don't have $1,000 in the bank. Well, after I pay my rent, child support, and other bills and expenses, I'm broke. Check the check. I don't have $100 saved up right now. I feel like giving up. Can you help me?
Now I'm gonna pause it right there. This check to check is avoidable. I'm gonna repeat myself. Check to check is avoidable. You can avoid check to check. I'm gonna tell you how you can avoid check to check. You got to start off small. Okay, first off, all right. A lot of people are programmed to think like their parents. Your boomer parents, most people probably either have boomer parents or Gen X parents at this point. And what those parents are doing is what they saw their parents do. Silent generation, greatest generation. They used to be able to work one job. That job paid for everything. Everything. The house, the cars, the food, juniors, braces, juniors, retainers, juniors, whatever, pay for everything that was, a lot of people's existence in this, probably 50s, 60s, whatever. That one job paid for everything. And what people are doing now, what I notice people do, and this is like, I'm not going to lie to you, this book here is better for people that are not afraid to be a businessman or an investor. If you're a person that you can tap in and learn how to be a businessman or an investor, this book gonna make you a lot of money, because you able to take $1 and make $2 out of it. You're not able to make $1 or make $2 out of $1. Yeah, you're gonna struggle with that book. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I wrote the book, and I'm definitely I'm a very good investor, and business is pretty much what I'm into. Now, that being said, even if you ain't got a business, even if you ain't investing, one job just ain't never gonna do it usually, unless you're making, like I got an uncle, he's a director, he's making like 150 or 160 or something like that. Maybe you might be on a level of that, but even me, if I was making money like that, I would have me a smoke shop, or I would have a convenience store or something like that. I would have something to offset that one job. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. That is according to the IRS. That means they got 7 streams of different businesses that they have. One job ain't enough usually, especially if you're making $14 an hour. Okay, I laugh at myself and others. I did a video on DoorDash. If you're doing DoorDash and you over 35 or whatever, yes, you fucked up in life financially. Your grandmama told you to get your wallet to save some money. You didn't do it. Okay, so now you doing, you 30 plus doing DoorDash because you failed to realize that you had to save some money. This was a save. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll say this again. I'll say it again today. If you ain't got no money from no rich person that you know, or some inheritance coming, or you already got inheritance, so the whole point is mute because you already got money, right? If you ain't got all of that, only way out is momentum. Saving $1, turn it into the 2, and keep saving, and then invest in that shit and making more money. It's the only fucking way. Other than hitting the lottery, getting rich or some shit, you gotta, either, even in business, you gotta build momentum to get some turn of profit. It's a game of momentum. It is. I know it sucks. It sucks to be like you feel like you on the bottom. You just down in the dumps, you like, damn, you see how rich the whole world is. You like, it's just incomprehensible how rich people are, and then you just barely got 2 nickels to rub together. It's very, very frustrating. But you gotta try to trick yourself not to think about it, at least understand why you're there. Why you're in a situation you're in. Okay, this is just because usually when you at 30 some years old, you know why you're there. You know what you've done from the time you was 18 to now. You know where you fucked up. You was partying too much. You was fucking a lot of women. You was making too many careless mistakes with women. You got whole bunch of kids. Now you on child support because you got too many women pregnant that put you on child support. Whatever the case may be, you bought too many cars and all that shit, man. Got too much credit card debt. Whatever the case may be, it's why you in the situation you're in now. Now that being said, even whatever you did, it sucked. The reality might be it does suck. I will admit it probably will you know, to some degree or another, it sucks. But unless you get rich, unless you get, you know, some lottery ticket or some, you know, hit a long parlay or something or whatever you do, that's good if you could. But if you can't, still, on one hand, save your money. In a sense where you only got $100 left after you, like this man, he only got $100 left after he pays all his bills and everything like that. That's his situation. You got to start small. That's what I mean by starting small. You got to get you a Hinckley and Schmidt, or, you know, basically a water bottle, one of them big ass water bottles. It's like this little kid type of advice. I know it is, but what I mean is, I know what I'm talking about. What you do is, once you get that big old water bottle, you know, like the water coolers that, you know, you see at, you know, at a commercial business, you get one of those, and you, whenever you come home, you put your change in that water bottle. You put every loose change you got, you put it in that water bottle. And over time, what's going to happen is you're going to start building up little like emergency petty cash or emergency fund. It's like, that's the poor man's emergency fund, is what I'm telling you. That big Hinckley and Schmidt water bottle, the big ass, you know, water cooler water bottle. You're going to get that, and you're going to put some change in that shit. Every chance you get. If you got a lot of people around, you probably got to put it in a closet or put it away, you know, something like that. But once you start to, you know, basically start saving that money, something is gonna happen. Instead of you having $100, you know you got more than $100 after you work. It's gonna start helping you in your mindset to understand, okay, I got more than $100. Now, after you start filling everything with change, what you're going to have to do is, you're going to have to figure out a second way where you can make some money. You're going to have to figure out some type of way that you can make some type of living. Now, I don't care if you go buy, you know, a gumball machine. You know what I'm saying? You gotta it's a way that you can make some money. Like, you gotta figure it out, like what you can do to make some money. You can go. So I'm gonna tell you a couple things, right? And I do some of these things myself from time to time. If you got a Goodwill or a thrift store around you, you got a thrift store. A lot of times these thrift stores, they have stuff that costs way more than what the item is in the store. You know, they'll have something like a coat, or if you really into fashion, you know, like you could kind of figure out, all right, this is, you know, Prada or Gucci or whatever. It might be a fashion brand that nobody even know of. You know it. A lot of the people at the thrift store, they don't know what that brand is, so they'll put it out in the bin, and then you can get it. You can basically, you know, get that fashion and put it up on eBay, and then you could, you know, sell it. It might take a while to sell it, but what you do is you get all of these things that people basically get rid of, and basically they're selling it for little or nothing, and then you basically sell it online, and then you make some money off of make some type of profit off of selling thrift items online. You know, because people buy used clothes, they buy used shoes, they buy used coats, all day and twice on Sunday, every day on eBay. You might not think that people buy used stuff, but they absolutely they buy old stuff quite often. So once you buy these items, you're gonna start to generate some income. You're gonna start generating some income over time. And then unless you know, the $100 that you have at the end of every paycheck, it's gonna start increasing. You know, next thing you know, you making an extra $500 a month. You know, you just going to the Goodwill bin and buying, like it's about to get cold. You start buying old coats, you know, buying coats and shit, and you just put them in a washing machine, or you know, put them in a dryer and dry clean them or something like that. They got dry cleaning solution you could buy at a store, and you basically take that money that you make from selling these thrift items, and you start to save this money and invest it. You know, you got to learn how to invest, because doing this shit with just savings and no flipping of it, like, not if you can't flip, it's going to be very, very difficult, because you're putting yourself in a box. You got to learn how to invest. Really. I think everybody should know business and how to invest. If you don't know, if you're not interested into it, then, or maybe, you know, some people shy. Like my sister, I remember both my sisters is shy. Like, you know, it's a personality. Like it, you know, yeah, yeah, my sisters is like, you know, a lot of women are like that too. A lot of men are like that too. They don't like selling. They don't like business. They don't like sales. They don't like investing either. And it's like, okay, well, I don't really have no ideas other than, obviously, and he's going to say it in the video, other than having that one job, you have to do something else. I don't care if it's DoorDash. I don't care. There's so many apps now. Like, if you doing just your job because you shy, or you don't want to do nothing else, or you know, you might be tired. I can understand that, but that don't give you no out. Unfortunately, your reality, you got to deal with it. Ain't nobody else gonna deal with it. You got to deal with it. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It sucks, but you know, that's why it's, you know, you got to, you know, that makes the story that much greater. That makes the experience that much greater when you actually overcome. You got a story to tell, and you know, people, you a shining example. But you're gonna have to do something else. You're gonna have to get you another job, get you you know, some people live in areas where DoorDash ain't popping. DoorDash really, I mean, as far as I know, everybody can't do DoorDash. I know that. I know how America works. Okay, I've been all around America. You live in Paris, Illinois. DoorDash ain't popping like that. I don't think in Paris, Illinois. Like, DoorDash is popping in major cities: Chicago, LA, San Francisco, Miami, probably New Jersey, New York, like big metro centers. You live out in the country, which a lot of people do, DoorDash probably ain't popping. Uber probably ain't popping. So you can't necessarily be like, oh, well, you know, you could just get a gig app and you gonna come up. Nah, That ain't how that work if you live out in the country. In the country, you're gonna have to be creative. Like if I was in the country, this is what I do. I'll be growing trees. You know, you got these pine trees, right? You sell one pine, like a baby pine tree is like almost like $10 or $15. I will be making like a million pine trees. And if you go online, like fuck me just talking about it, I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll tell you, you know what I'm saying, I'll show you better than I could tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I show you way better than I could tell you. Don't take my word for it. You know, me, I'm gonna try to get back into buying laptops, flipping laptops, because I got a lot of computer parts that I can start flipping laptops, fixing them up, refurbishing them, and selling them again. But here's the deal, right? So let me put evergreen tree. Let me just put sapling. You know, that's a baby tree, basically. Okay. Everybody like evergreen trees, right? All right. All right, let's see here. All right. Plants and seedlings or whatever. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen. So, I mean, you got to be creative, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, you go get some seeds. I mean, you can make a bonsai plant or whatever. You could make a tree. Like, all of these, like little mint. You can grow mints and sell them. You know what I'm saying? Like, people buying this shit. So, like, let me show you. Like, I'm seasoned on eBay, so I know how to look up if something is worth selling or not. You go to show only sold items. So as you can see, I ain't just talking. These people are actually buying this stuff. They're buying these plants, okay, roses, rose seeds, rose cutlings, mint, mint plants. They got from 4 inches to 7 inches tall. So you could live out in the country and just start growing shit. Get you a greenhouse and start growing shit and come the fuck up. You will come up probably bigger than somebody in the city. Shit, this got me thinking, to be honest. Shit, I'm in the country. Shit, I might do this shit. I got a greenhouse in the garage, but it's a small one. What I'm talking about is that big joint that cover like it's almost the size of a it's like about, I want to say about 30 feet, long. It's probably about 10 feet tall. You get one of them joints, man, you can grow all kind of food. You can go to the farmer's market, go to and then basically, yeah, you could sell. I just showed you could sell on eBay. You probably could build a little website or something, maybe sell stuff, start, trafficking people to your website. And you could just grow stuff, man. Grow whatever plants you think was profitable. You can try a whole bunch of stuff. And that's like, somebody live in the country and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't think that it's been people. You got to understand, like, you got Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff. They make millions of dollars off of selling plants, apple trees, orange trees. Some people live in Florida, California. You can grow orange trees. You got peach trees. I had a house. My rent-to-own house had a peach tree in the yard. I used to eat some of those peaches, and I never thought a peach tree could grow in Illinois, but yeah, apparently you can grow a peach tree in Illinois. I always thought peach trees was from down south. So yeah, you gotta be creative. But again, I know people are, they're very shy, because they just don't want to do certain things or whatever. But the thing is man, you got to get off of it, to make some money. You got to find a way to get off of it, to make some type of money for yourself. It just is what it is, man. I can't say it no better than that, man. You got to find a way. The investing, you don't necessarily have to deal with people with investing. Okay, with investing, that's really a way where you can kind of be low key. You don't really have to be involved with people, but it takes money to get there. In order to really invest, you kind of have to have a nice little chunk of money to really take things off. You can build momentum over time. You can grow an account. It's difficult to do that, but you can do it. You can theoretically do it. I'll give you a hint. If you learn options and you learn how to use your particular brokerage systems platform and know how to, basically do options, you can take a small amount of money, like $100 or $1,000, and grow it to a substantial amount of money. You can do that. I've seen a lot of people do that. I myself have tried to do that. I haven't had the success yet, but it is some people that have grew, let's just say a couple, 1,000 or more into like 10,000 or even 100,000 with the options, some option contract or two or more. I'll give you that hint with the stock market. If you can learn options, I'll say Forex, options, and crypto. With those two, you don't have to. You could be She could be shy as a bird, and you can be in investing is actually for the introvert. The introvert can really make a lot of money investing, and also the shy person. The person is shy. That should be actually your lane, because when you're in business, you got to talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, as well as being an employee, right? That's why a lot of people don't even like being at work, because they don't really like talking to people. They don't really like people, to be honest. And I get it. Okay, that's fine, but if you want to go to this area here, you can go to this area here, the investor area, in this cash flow quadrant, the Robert Kiyosaki cash flow quadrant. I added unemployed and system D to this quadrant. But basically, you can take some of your money from being an employee and then going into basically investing your money. Okay, same thing with self-employed. But it is a lot. If you live in a major metro system, there is so many freaking ways that you can make some extra income. It is crazy. If you have no record, you should smack yourself in the face right now if you live in check to check and everything. Because if you have no record, it is nothing stopping you from getting on any app that you want to get on. Uber, Lyft. They got something called Roadie, where if you got a cargo van, you could pick up stuff from Home Depot, Lowe's, different businesses, and deliver it to job sites and other people's residences and stuff like that. So you could also do medical couriering, like basically delivering people's medication, picking up, certain things maybe from people that are hazmat or medical hazmat, or I don't know, something like that. Whatever you're doing or picking up as a medical courier, like, they pay a lot of money. I heard they pay quite a bit of money being a medical courier. So it is a way that you can make some extra money, even if you're not making that much money. Another thing is, again, once you start saving, once you start saving that change, now you're going to move on to a money book. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is how you can, this is, if you're trying to trying to, get out of you're not making that much. You got a problem saving. You don't really have no money. At the end of every check, you don't have no money. So this is what I'm gonna show you. This is what I got. That's what I have. It's kind of like it kind of goes, you go get one of these here. Hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is it here. Fuck. Temu. Let me see here. Let me just play a video because that explains it a little bit better than just a picture. Let me just play this again. And I've played this before. But I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. All right. So this is what I'm talking about.
Envelopes money saving challenge binder.
So this is like a money savings challenge. So you get a booklet, and you she's starting off with $50, but she's doing, they got different challenges, right? But she's starting off with $100, or $50. You usually start off with $1, and you see it is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just put $1, you put $2, try to do it every day. Then you put $3, and then put $4, and it goes up to $100. So on the course of weeks, a month, you storing this money in this binder. You can go into it when you need to. If things is tight, you can go into it, but then basically put it back. Once you get some more money, get yourself together, you put the money back into the binder. And what this does is it gets you to a point where you not just making $100 a week $100 after every paycheck. You got more than that. So these are like some tricks to get yourself to the point where you have more money left over after you get paid. It might take you some months. It might take you about 6 months to get to the point where these things are working. And then if you got people around you that's, sucking every penny from you, you just got to deal with that as best as you can. You got to tell people, no, I don't have it. But you can't tell people your business. You can't tell people you got a bunch of money, because once you tell people you got a bunch of money, they're going to be one coming over with their hands out, coming to you with their hands out. So that's one way you could do it. When you get yourself a little bit better and in a better position, basically you get my book, The Millionaire Savings Plan.
And there includes PU level
and then basically you could start with $1,000 and work your way up,
number 1 to 100.
Following this challenge.
This
then you will
binder is
really be
system.
doing something,
It fits easily
because
into backpack or bag.
you ain't gonna be check to check for about a long time.
Savings card, etc.
So this is what you do. You get those. You get the you get the Hinckley and Schmidt jar. You start saving your coins like you like a little schoolboy, and then you work that, and then you basically you'll feel a lot better because you ain't gonna be just making $100 after every check. It's gonna be more than that. So that's what you do. So I'm gonna play this further.
Damn. Let me go over that again. 35-year-old man, 2 kids by the ex-girlfriend. So obviously he got 2 kids by the same woman. They're 5 and 7 years old, so they're small. So now you got daycare and all that. At the moment, I'm a forklift driver, and I make $14 an hour, which at one time, that was good money for a forklift driver. 14, that's what they make. As a matter of fact, that was high-end forklift driver making $14, $15 an hour as a forklift driver. Obviously, the people he worked for still think that's good money, or they don't care. More likely, they don't care. They know the cost of living. $14 an hour as a forklift driver. I saw your video a while back saying most people don't have $1,000 in the bank. Well, after I pay my rent, child support, and other bills, I am broke. I don't have $100 saved up right now. I feel like giving up. Can you help me? I'll try. First things first, you're not going to give up because you don't have any money. That's not giving up material. That's getting more money material. Not having $100 is not giving up material. That ain't something you give up for. If you have stage 4 bone cancer and eating away at your bone marrow and you're in excruciating pain, the medicine they give you ain't stopping the pain, you're in pain 24 hours a day. Now you might have something to think about, talking about giving up. They done treated you as much as they can, ain't nothing else they can do about it. And you in excruciating pain all day long. From the head to the toe, all your bones ache. You have bone cancer, whatever you call it. Excruciating pain. You went from 250 pounds, now you weigh 85 pounds. Now I can understand you having a thought of wanting to give up. But you only having 100, nah, he's not 100. He said he don't have 100. I remember them times. With a son, married. Get paid on Friday, pay all the bills. I will have sometimes $100, $120 to make it the next payday. I got a wife and a son. I work full time, every day, truck driver. I wasn't prepared. I didn't know how much it would cost to have a family. Because before I had a family, I was making, that was good money what I was making. So I did what men's supposed to do. You know, I'm making good money for a single man. This was in like, what year I got married? My son was born in 2012. I got married in 2012, right? Before I got married, we were in a relationship for like 3 years before we got married. I was bringing home like, not in Mobile, Alabama, it's back in like 2010, somewhere up in the 2009, 2010. Keep that in mind. I was bringing home like $800 a week after taxes. Back then, that was good money. But when you take on a family, a wife and kid, no, it ain't. With a home, utility, daycare, food, medicine, medical expenses. How you know you have a child, now you got medical expenses. vehicles, getting the grass cut. Why you didn't cut yourself, big boy? Because I was tired. I'm working all the damn time trying to take care of family. So sometimes I pay to get the grass cut when I ain't got it, y'all. I'm tired. So I understand where you're coming from. And there will be time by the time I get paid Friday. No, we got paid on Thursday. That was even worse. It's best to get paid Friday. But I got paid Thursday. Because you get paid Friday, you ain't got that much longer. You know, the weekend ain't gonna be that long as far as you just got paid. If you get paid Thursday, now you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to let that money marinate. But if you get paid Friday, that's one less day that make you closer to the next week to get past the weekend. The weekend is the hardest time to hold some money. So the longer your weekend, the more money you end up spending. And I was disciplined with money. I am frugal and still get paid Thursday. By the time Wednesday hit, I'll be lucky to have $30 left. Limping on in the payday. Limping. I done squeezed every dollar I could squeeze. Especially when I had to buy Pampers. She was breastfed, but I would have to buy different little things, whatever, Pampers and that Neff or Neff, whatever it's called. I had to get because he was sensitive skin. I had to buy the stuff to wash his laundry. All kind of little expenses you don't think about before you have a kid. But I was an adult. I'm ready for it, so I thought. And which I was. We made it. The marriage didn't make it, but me and my son made it. That put a strain on the marriage. Come Wednesday, I got $30 to my name. I'm looking good. Good looking, handsome, 6'5", 240 pound back then. I was real. Looking good on a Wednesday with $30 in my pocket. So I know where you're coming from. But the difference in my mindset and your mindset is the giving up part didn't cross my mind. Making more money did. I was always trying to find a better job, a better way, a way to make more money. That's the solution to your problem. Not giving up. Giving up ain't the solution. The problem you having is you don't make enough money for your living expenses right now. Obviously, you're making enough to survive because you're doing that. So everybody don't need $40, $50 an hour to survive. If you surviving on 14, yes, it's leaving you broke when you're paying your expenses, but your expenses are getting paid. So now you need to figure out something to do to have some extra money. You got your bill money. You ain't doing as bad as you think you are. First of all, you're not the only one. Trust me. There's way more people ain't got $100 than is people that got 1,000. Or that is people that ain't got 1,000. You'll be surprised how many people listen to the video right now, including myself. Not right now, but I done been there. As an adult. I ain't there right now, but as an adult with a wife and kid, not having $100. Not having 50. I told you when Wednesday hit, it's the 30, baby.
Man, I remember on this channel, because back when I was living in a hotel and I was paying about I was paying about almost $500 a week for a hotel in a cheap hotel. You know, slightly above what would be called, we call them roach motels, little cheap motels. Usually the Indians own them, or basically they look like the Bates Motel. Slightly above that, it was like what was the chain of that hotel? I think it was. I can't even remember the name of that hotel. But the thing is I was so broke because I would get paid about $1,000 a week. And then of course I had all my expenses, including child support. And I would only have about $400 or $500 after I got paid. And I was paying for my house every month, then trying to fix it up, then paying for a hotel every week. I would have to literally be tired and all, get off of work, working at the liquor company that pretty much did Diddy in. Okay, I'm gonna let you know what I'm saying? Get working as a subcontractor in the IT department. I was making like I said, about a little bit over $1,000 a week, and they wasn't taking taxes because I was basically self-employed, 1099. I still was in a cycle of just every week that $600, $500 is gone to a hotel, and I'd have about $400 or $500 left, and it was not enough to make ends meet for the most part, because you got to talk about gas, you got to talk about food. I ain't even have. I mean, right now I got a four cylinder. That van I had was a gas guzzler, and it was a 6-cylinder. It was a Chrysler van. So I would literally do DoorDash right after work, and then do DoorDash, then come home, and come to the hotel and then crash it out for the night and then do it again the next day, because I wasn't making. And then I ain't even know about how to do DoorDash now. I mean, I got a little system of how I do DoorDash now that I make some money when I do it. But yeah, I did that for a while, and until I got out the hotel and got my house, to where I just gonna live in my house and fix it up while I live in it. So I understand, man. I've been there plenty of times.
The 20 and a 10, or maybe a 20 and 2.5, or maybe 6.5, or maybe 3 10s. However you want to add it up, $30 come Wednesday. It never failed. I knew by the time Wednesday come, I'm gonna have them funky $30.
Like, share, and subscribe.
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance. No thanks.
And I would take like $3 and make that my lunch for the day.
And this is he go by Big Ward the Genius. Big Ward Genius. This guy that's talking on the video.
I would go to McDonald's for lunch, and they had the double cheeseburger, 2 double cheeseburgers for like $1, some shit like that. What was it? $1 for a double cheese. The double cheeseburger was $1. I would get 2 double cheeseburgers and a small fry for lunch. And guess what? I would make that last all day. Me, Big Ward.
Oh. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was gonna say, I had went grab some coffee. I was gonna think about it. Food is important, right? You need food. That's every day, right? You need some sustenance. Well, that's the thing, man. You got to learn how to cook one pot meals. That saves you money. So you take your food to work, so like you can make some chili, right? That's a one pot meal, and that'll be enough to feed you. And even if you got a family, you can make some rice with it or whatever. You can make some mashed potatoes with it. That one bowl of chili, one pot of chili will last you a couple days. Spaghetti, you know what I'm saying? One pot spaghetti, chicken noodle soup. One pot meals are easier for someone, to make a quick meal and then, put it get some Tupperware, put it in a bowl, and you can take it to work. Cause see, you wouldn't think that you like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna buy me some food. The average, he talking about probably in the early 2000s or whatever, when double cheeseburgers was $1. They're not even $1 anymore. They're like, McDonald's is really like not worth it. I don't really eat a lot of McDonald's because it's not worth it. You're gonna spend a Big Mac meal, and then the food is not worth it either, but that's a whole nother topic. But you talking about what? A Big Mac meal is like $12. If you in a like an airport or somewhere like downtown, they charge more because it's more expensive for rent costs or lease costs. So you're gonna pay more for a McDonald's than in another neighborhood, right? So you could spend probably $13-14 at like if you in a big like city, if you downtown and you go to McDonald's. So it's not worth it. You $15, you can get a good steak dinner. You can make yourself a good steak dinner with a nice little T-bone steak. You can have some veggies with it, some mashed potatoes, get you a couple potatoes. If you know how to make mashed potatoes from scratch, you can have some mashed potatoes and steak, some gravy, and some vegetables with it. And it's way better than, you can't tell me that's not better than McDonald's. And it's probably less than $15 for everything I just mentioned. One or two potatoes to make mashed potatoes with, maybe 3 potatoes, some vegetables, whatever vegetables you want, and like some green beans or whatever you like as far as veggies. That's gonna cost less than that Big Mac meal, and that's depending on how you buy it. Like you could buy some steak. It might not be a T-bone. You could buy maybe some like steak fillets or something. Maybe it might be 3 or 4 of them, and then that's enough for 2 or 3 people to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like off of the same price, about $15. So it's not worth it, really, if you think about it. Even Five Guys. Five Guys is like what? $15, $16 for a burger and fries. If you add a drink, it's probably like $20. It's not worth it. That's why, like, a lot of financial experts will say, make your own food at home. Buy groceries. Don't eat out. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to avoid eating out when you broke because you don't have the money to pay for it. Like you gotta save every penny you possibly can, right? And you gotta use it to make you more money, right? So you don't want to be spending $20 on Five Guys when you can buy like about 2 or 3 pounds of hamburger meat. And then you can make your own hamburgers, get some buns, whatever condiments you want, all of that, cook your own fries for an entire family for that same amount. You could cook for about 5 or 6 people off of one meal from Five Guys. So it is important when it comes to, when you live in that check to check life, when you ordering too much DoorDash, you ordering out, that shit does cost. You talking about like that's you pretty much is like a fill up at the gas station. you eating 2 or 3 times a day or more, that's just gonna add up over time. Like that's a lot of money that you spending ordering takeout, all the time or every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it does add up. So it really takes away from, it puts you in a situation that it just adds to why you live in check to check. You're not cooking at home. Ordering out too much takeout. You figure, okay, you spend about, and this is like for a single person, a person with kids. If you got kids, you probably gonna spend $20 or $30 every time you go order takeout. So you think about, between you eating out every day, you gonna have lunch, you might, come home and eat takeout again. So let's just say roughly you spending about, let's just say about, you spend about $50 a day on takeout. You times that by 7, which is a week. That's $350 a week that you spending on takeout, and that don't even include tax. So I mean, that's way too much money when you think about it, because that's just a week. When you talk about a month, you're talking about $1,400 a month on takeout. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That could pay somebody's mortgage. The money that you spending on takeout can pay somebody's mortgage. So it does add up.
Some circumstances hit me that I wasn't prepared for. I wanted a child. I wanted my own kid. I wanted my own family, blah, blah, blah. I didn't think about, bro, do you know how expensive that is? So I thought I was doing good with my little $800 a week, which I was when I was single with no family. I was. Adding the family into that $800 a week, it wasn't $800 every week now. Don't get it twisted. Trucking up and down. Some weeks I had 5. Some weeks I had 3. So, but 800 was the baseline of what I normally would do. 750, 600, 625. I didn't have a guaranteed salary of 800 every week. Now let's get y'all be saying like get 800 good month. I wasn't doing 800 every week now. But the best I would do, put it that way, was 800. That's my top pay. And anywhere in between, from 6 to 8. Got a family and kid. Well, you shouldn't have got a family. That's what I was supposed to do, get a family and kid. That's what we're here for. But instead of wanting to give up, calling my lack of money, I was thinking of ways. It took me a while to figure it out, but that's what I was doing. I knew what I needed to do was make more money. I would not like to be a millionaire. I would love to be a millionaire, but I didn't have to be a millionaire to solve the problem that I was having. I just needed to make a couple of more $100 a week. That's it. Just set your mind on that. You don't have to make $1 million. If you're making it and maintaining where you at right now, you just broke after you pay all your bills, but you ain't saying nothing about, I ain't even able to pay my bill. It ain't got 100. So your bill's getting paid. It's just that you're broke after you pay them. So all you need now is another couple $100 a week from somewhere. From somewhere.
If you're sitting around Googling how to make money on the internet and your ass is tired of being broke, let me tell you what you're.
You see how the algorithm pick up everything you're talking about, and they got a commercial for you. They're trying to sell you something based off of what you're talking about.
To do as the old folks say, keep the hanks off you. Because right now in this economy, just about, you ain't by yourself, brother. You ain't by yourself. As a matter of fact, it's folk doing way worse than you. Not only do they not have $100, their bills ain't paid either. You said, at least you said, after you pay your bills, you don't have $100 left to your name. Right now, you don't have $100 saved up, but all your bills paid. Keep in mind, there's somebody who broke and bills ain't paid either. While you thinking about giving up because you broke after you paid your bills, there's somebody who ain't paid their bills and they broke. Bills still due. As I tell y'all all the time, it could be worse. So the solution to your problem right now, your solution is simple. Is you closer than what you think to getting out this situation. Now, are you gonna be a millionaire right now? I don't know. Let's go win the lottery or something like that, because it ain't much going on in our economy right now to make a lot of money.
How long you been knowing about him? Because I've been knowing about him for at least a year, about a year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he know about me. I mean, he got his name is Big Ward the Genius. So I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know, man. But I've been knowing about him for about a year. Good down south common sense. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. You known about him for years. Okay. Yeah, he like an old brother, that got common sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of common sense, a lot of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I definitely listen to him. I don't listen to everything he be talking about, but some of it, like definitely stuff like this, I click on,
Money. Whatever area you in, you just need you a little side hustle, a little side gig, just make you another extra $150, $200 a week. That'll take a lot of pressure off you. And when you make that extra money, don't go get no more bills. Keep your bills where they at. You've been maintaining it.
Yeah, that's another thing. And I'm gonna show you. I sell this on my it's on my link on my description under all my videos. This the secret here too. I'm gonna show you. Let me look here. So I keep a financial, like a budget, an actual budget, and this keeps track of all of my bills, all the stuff I gotta pay. Now, let me see here. I might have a generic one that I can show you, because I ain't trying to show you all my personal bills. Let me see if I got a generic one that I could show you. Because the one I give you, okay, I think this is it here. Let me see here. Because the one I give you, it's basically, yeah, this is the one that I sell, okay? Because mine is personalized already because I use it. So this is the cheat code right here. So like this right here, I think I sell it for like $2 or something. This will keep track of all your bills. This is, generalize. You can generalize it to what you got to spend money on. This is what typically most people have to pay when they have, this is most people's budget items, right? So you got car payment, mortgage. You could put mortgage or rent, but I despise rent, so I just don't even put or rent. I just, you could put rent there in place of the mortgage. Food, transportation costs, emergency fund, phone, retirement, because you should be saving some for retirement every month, household items, clothing, car insurance, gas, electric, home improvements, student loan, water, sewer, trash. Now, because in Indiana, there's a company called NIPSCO, and they got the gas and electric combined. So technically, I just put on mine, I put energy because it's for I just put gas and electric because it's one company. It's just all of it is combined. Home improvements because I actually have to. I'm going. This is all personalized according to what your budget items are. Some people don't. If your house is already fixed up, I wouldn't put home improvements. I would just put home maintenance. Student loans, if you got them, water, sewer, trash, cable, bill, internet, miscellaneous. And then this is automated to your monthly income. So it actually gives you what total surplus you have at the end of the month, according to your income. And then it gives you the monthly cost of all of these budget items that you have. In this way, you know what your budget is. It's no surprises. According to your income, and then it tells you how much money you have left over after you pay all your bills. Okay, and then you have a list of priorities. Obviously, priority one, you could put mortgage or car payment. I mean, all of these at the top. The important things are at the top, right? Priority one, priority two. So it has the list of priorities. And this also has your current bills that you have, depending on how often you get paid. Like if you get paid bi-weekly or every week, you could put each of these items here and you know exactly what you're going to pay. You already have it budgeted out for the actual pay week. So you know exactly what you're going to do according to how much your income is. And it's no surprises. So when you get paid, you look at your expense report and you just basically put off an X on each thing that you pay. Anything that you can't pay, you put it towards the next pay cycle. And what you're doing here is you're organizing your bills in your budget, and it's no surprises, and you know how much money you have left over. And you notice I have emergency fund. So you're gonna put about $100 in your emergency fund or whatever you can afford to put in there, comfortable to you, into your emergency funds for savings. So eventually, depending on your situation, you might not have much to put in your emergency fund. That may grow over time, but a lot of people, I think they say like 35% of individuals don't have any budget. And when you don't have any budget, basically, I know what that life is like because I used to be one of those individuals. You're basically shooting off the hip. And when you shoot off the hip, you put yourself in a situation where you're going to possibly crash out because you don't know what's coming. Your mind is not that intelligent that you know exactly line item how much you got to spend every month. And then there's surprises. There's things you're going to forget about. This keeps track of everything. Now, I probably will have to update this because I added credit cards. You keep track of your credit cards as far as how many months. I mean, when is the bill due for that credit card, and you keep track of that. So I'll definitely modify it, but this keeps exactly to the zero line item how much debt how much surplus you have at the end of the month, and according to your income. And then you could just basically, like for mine, I put my income from my job if I'm working, and I also put other income, like a rough estimate of what you normally make from doing another job or a side gig or whatever you do for a living. You basically put it other income and you add to it. And you know how much you normally make from your other income. You might, if you're a woman, you probably you might be a babysitter or something like that. You know, you might make an extra $1,000 a month babysitting or something. You know, you keep all of this track. See, this is what they don't tell you because you don't know. If you don't have no budget, it's like the equivalent of not having a budget is like trying to go to trying to win a football game without any plays and looking at film. You won't have a game plan. Like most coaches, they have a game plan for each team they gonna play. If you don't have no budget, you really don't have no plan for success because you're shooting off the hip. You got to have some type of budget so you know, even if you ain't got no job, you should still have that budget to figure out, like, okay, well, I know how much my bills are. I got to make this amount of money. I got to come up with this amount of money to pay my bills every single month. You already know it down to the zero because you following some type of budget. Like, again, this is budget Excel report is in my description. It's like a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? So down you just basically buy it and it automatically has a download link after you purchase it. So, you know, I'm here to help you. But if you too good, if your ego too strong, then, you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? Just tell me the story after you crash out. Tell me if you survive it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'll say. Just tell me the story of your crash out when you come back.
Some DoorDash, something. Cutting grass. Get you some power washing equipment from someone. How you gonna do it? You ain't got the money saved up. Power wash houses, driveways. You gotta get your side hustle for your work to pay your bills. You hustle to get ahead. That's what the old man told me. It's always been like that. This ain't nothing new. You work to pay your bills. You hustle to get ahead. So that working you doing on Mr. Charlie job, Andrew Jackson, on Mr. Charlie job, that's for your bills. Now you're going to go work for yourself and hustle to have some money in your pocket to keep from being broke. Rake leaves, cut grass, figure it out. I can't give you all the ideas of how to make money because I'm trying to figure out something my damn self. I do Instacart. I make YouTube videos. I drive a truck. I'm a male whore. That's just a joke. I want to throw it out.
Rule number 3, you can't get rich slow. When I owned 100 houses, I made about $10,000 a month of tax-free income, 100 grand a year. I thought I was rich. Why do I think I was rich? Because my dad never made $100,000 a year. Number 2, 10,000 of tax-free income a month or 120 grand a year, tax-free is equal to 140 in real earned income dollars. But in reality, it seemed like a lot to me because I made $70,000 a year in corporate America working in the health club industry. So what that meant was I took home.
I've seen this video before. If it's one ad that I'll play, is this one. This dude is he's talking about real estate investing.
Home $3,500 a month. So now that I'm taking home $3,500 a month, now I'm taking home $10,000 a month. That's like 3 times as much. I mean, to me, I've really made it. But if you looked at my bank account, I maybe had $50,000 or $100,000 of liquidity. I wasn't rich. But I bought one apartment complex and turned all kinds of things around in it in a very short period of time and made over $1 million of tax-free income by refinancing the money back out of the deal. So I walked away with a check for $1 million. Now, when I had that check and I put that check in my savings account, my world changed because then I was rich. Does that make sense? Still had the same amount of real estate, still had the same cash flow, but I was rich because of the gigantic instant wealth. Everybody tells you your whole life you can't get rich quick. That is BS. The real answer is you can't get rich slow. Anybody ever read the book The Millionaire Next Door? Nope, it's an old book. What it talks about most people who get rich end up being a millionaire, end up doing it by buying a large home, paying it off over 30 years, saving in their 401k, saving in their IRA, and then hit retirement with $1 million of net value. Then the book goes on and says these people are miserable. Their entire life is miserable, and when they retire, they go to dinner at 4 o'clock so they can get the seniors discount. They buy everything with coupons. Once you learn to live on the expense side of the income statement, you will be stuck on the expense side of the income statement your entire life. You've got to learn how to create income. You've got to work on the other side of the equation and start making more money, not learning to live on less. Otherwise, you're going to end up living poor for the rest of your life.
Message.
You follow me? But whatever you do, you ain't finna give up because you ain't got no money. If that was the thing to do, just about everybody in America be dead right now because just about everybody in America ain't got no money. Hold on, y'all. So anybody that listens to me right now, and you find yourself in that situation, which I'm sure it's a lot of y'all that listen to me that's in that situation, just know I was there too. I didn't know when or how I was going to get out that situation. I just knew I was. I knew I was going to find a way out of here. You got to have that mindset to know that's where you at right now, but I got to find a way out of here, and I'm going to find a way out of here. I just need to make some more money.
So yeah, that's it. That's Big Ward the Genius. Check him out on YouTube. So I'm gonna tell you the good and the bad from all of this, what's going on. So because of the economy and how things are, a lot of job closings, a lot of business closings. Prices are dropping. Okay, I noticed. Okay, last time I was at the grocery store, prices was getting a little lower. Prices of all across the board, even real estate costs are down. Okay, prices of homes are basically going down. But the bad is your job might possibly go down too. Okay, your job might drop you. So it's the good and bad. I mean, I think that's called stagflation. Okay, that's kind of what's going on. So I'm going to play another video of basically people that are, they bought their house, but they are house poor. Okay, they didn't look at the broke genius, and they didn't follow the 1.5 rule or anything like that. They just kind of bought a house that was probably too expensive. You know what I'm saying? Than what they could afford. So let's play her.
To be making a
TikTok. This is Jackie Baker. Okay, check her out.
TikTok video complaining about how you're house poor. So no, we don't want that. Let's get started. We all know that social media can be a one big giant wealth of information, which is great. And when I came across a lot of these videos on TikTok, oh my, I was getting so concerned for these people. And I'm like, you know what? I got to share this with you guys. We have to talk about this because people need to be better educated and prepared when it comes to buying their home. And I see this and I hear this a lot. People become homeowners and it just,
as you may have heard, this
becomes a financial disaster for them. So let's get into it right now.
I bought my own house. That first mortgage payment came in and I was like, oh, this is a situation. But at first you think you can handle it, right? Like, what's a couple thou? What's a couple thou? I got it. But then The pipes in my 80-year-old home broke immediately as soon as I bought the house. Wiped out my savings. Then another pipe in a different area of the house broke. Okay, I'm struggling. Okay, I need help. Then my neighbor's pipe, it was a twin house, her pipe broke. And she didn't believe that her pipe broke, but her pipe broke on my side of the house. So all of that water that was coming down was spraying into my home. And then my water heater broke. When I tell y'all, I went from living in the lap of luxury to destitute immediately.
Oh my gosh, this blew my mind. This happens a lot. People are just not saving money to cover these emergency expenses. I'd say this a lot. I'm saying this in a lot of videos lately, where you really should have like 3 to 6 months of your income, or in some cases, some people are saying expenses. So say your monthly expenses, you want to have that amount saved in a bank account. You don't touch it until emergencies happen. So in her case, it sounds like, as soon as she moved in, all of these problems happen. And that's why I say it's important. You need to have that emergency fund set up before you close on your house, even before you go shopping for a house, right? I mean, how many times have I said this? You want to save for your down payment, your closing cost, and you have to have your emergency fund. So this is a classic example of what happens. And of course, this leads to you becoming house poor. This next one is a classic example of what happens when you buy at the top of your budget.
Don't buy at the top of your budget. When I bought my first home back in 2006, I bought at the top of my budget, and I was house poor. I had just enough money to pay the mortgage, pay the utilities, a few extra monthly expenses that I had, and there wasn't anything left over to save. So when my water heater went out that first year, I had to charge the replacement on my credit card. When my air conditioner went out on the third year, we had to go to one of those loan places that charge you like a 25% interest in order to get the $6,000 that we needed to replace that. We wasted so much money in interest because our credit cards were maxed out making repairs and paying for maintenance, and we were getting loans on the big ticket items. So I urge you to buy a house that is below your budget so that you don't become house poor and struggle financially like I did.
This is a big reason why you should not be buying what your pre-approval says you can afford. Okay, so for pre-approval saying you're approved for $500,000, try to keep that under $500,000, because like what happened to this woman here, she's went the top of her budget and then everything went awry, and now she's got a lot of credit card debt. So to prevent that from happening, you gotta buy the house under what your maximum approval is for.
There's nothing that sucks more than working so hard to achieve a goal like this, and to not even feel at home in my own house is absolutely heartbreaking. Like, I worked so hard for this house, and I've been homeless before, and I should be grateful, and I am, but with everything going on, it's kind of hard to, but I'm ready, and I have a mindset to completely take ownership of this house and move forward from here on out. I wanted to do everything at once, which was a big mistake. Every single house owner that I've spoken to just told me the same thing. It's a process, it's baby steps, and you're not going to get everything done in one day. Give yourself grace, just focus on the things you need to focus on, and the rest will fall into place.
This is an example of biting off more than you can chew. A lot of people walk into a home and they get these grandiose ideas. I want to make these changes. I want to change the kitchen. I want to change this bathroom. I want to change the layout. The flow of this room isn't working for me. I need to change that. Okay. And people feel that it all needs to be done at once. It doesn't. This is called prioritizing your projects. And I said this in a couple of videos ago. This is what people need to be doing. You have to prioritize. Do not feel like you have to go in and change the entire house at once, like what this girl tried to do, and found herself in a financial disaster. So first and foremost, you want to tackle any repairs that need to be done immediately. So if anything showed up on inspection that wasn't repaired by the prior sellers, you want to go in and make those changes first, make those repairs, because if you don't, it could lead to bigger issues. And then what I recommend is live in the house for a year before you decide to make any type of renovations. And even in that situation, prioritize. So if you want to change the bathrooms, okay, plan on maybe 1 year, okay, we're going to redo the bathrooms this year. And then next year we'll focus on the kitchen, or we'll focus on changing the exterior of the home. You need to prioritize. too many people feel that they got to go in and change everything about the home immediately. You don't have to do that. Live in the house for a year, really understand the quirks, the flow of the house, and get a feel for what you really want the house to look like. And you can't do it in like a few days after living in the house and say, I'm going to make all these changes. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. At least, I mean, in my opinion, some people may disagree with me on that, but live in a house for a year and prioritize your projects. Now I want to talk to you about how people get out of being house poor. So I have a couple of videos I want to share with you. So the first one that I shared with you, the young lady who had all the pipes break and had the water heater break and the neighbor's pipe broke and she found herself destitute. She did a follow-up video to that and she shared some tips on how she got herself out of it.
I bought a house when I was 26, had a lot of unlucky things happen, and then I really struggled for about the first year. But your girl escaped the struggle, and here's how I did it. I was meticulous about saving money everywhere that I could. Instead of shopping at more expensive grocery stores like Acme, I was going to Aldi, hitting up the Aldi every time I need to go grocery shopping. I would check in and see what my parents were having for dinner, and I would go right on there. Instead of making my own dinner, instead of, paying for some food, ordering out, nope, mom and dad's. I made a budget in Excel and followed that thing like it was my religion. I did have some money left over for like fun things. So whatever that fun money was, let's say it was $100, I'm putting that in cash. And if I run out of that 100, guess what? It's over. No more fun for me. I also left bedside nursing and went into a higher paying career. And once I was in that career for about a year, I hustled to get a promotion. A few years into owning the home, I also got married. And so I was able to share the costs of home ownership with another person. If I hadn't gotten married, I might have considered like taking in a roommate, maybe two, to try to defray some of the costs that way as well.
Listing your house on the market isn't the only way to sell your house. Selling to us is much.
So this is just a case of adjusting your lifestyle. Okay. So she created a budget and she stuck with it. She now shops at Aldi's versus going to Acme supermarkets because Aldi's is a lot cheaper. So find ways that are going to be cost effective. You can find a million ways to save money, to cut costs, to help get yourself out of that situation. Now, it may take some time. It took her like her first couple of years of owning the house. She had to kind of dig her way out of that. So she created a budget, found ways to save on groceries. I mean, she went to her mom and dad's for dinner. Maybe not everybody can do that if you don't live nearby your parents, but in this case, she was able to do that. And the most important thing is that she was able to increase her income. Now, keep in mind, most people in their jobs, your increase is going to go up. I mean, hopefully you're going to have salary increases or you're going to get promotions. So after the first couple of years, if you start increasing your income, that's going to help you a lot. And I remember this is one thing my father told me. When we bought our first house, I was very stressed out. I had a good job at the time. My husband had a really good job, and I was nervous about it.
It's something that she just said. That's good. Good to know. Good to know. It's something that she just said that I dropped the bomb on. And I was thinking. A lot of times, I do this in chess. It's like one of the ways I win. I look at things how they are. A lot of times when I'm just delusional or like I'm not really trying to deal with the chessboard as it is, I'm just kind of making just stupid moves and stuff like that. I'm not looking at the reality of my position, not looking at the reality of what's going on. A lot of people do the same thing in life. She pointed out that she was married. That's why I dropped the bomb. Okay. Basically, I don't know, but I'm pretty safe to say that the young woman with the glasses is probably single, because a lot of times it is difficult trying to pay bills when you're single because you don't have any help. Brain's functioning pretty good. Drunk about 2 cups of coffee while this live stream was going. I made the coffee earlier. One of the things my mom used to always trip about was, because I'm be honest with you, my dad didn't really help my mom that much. Like, she was always complaining about that. But she used to always say she compared herself to like like other family members that they got, like, they were kind of like in a 50-50 type relationship or whatever. Or even in my aunt's case, she was a housewife and her husband paid pretty much most of the bills, if not all, pretty much all of the bills. She used to always kind of say, like, if I had this, if I had it like my sister or my brother, which I had help, things would be a lot better. I cannot emphasize that enough. If anything is concerned, like a lot of what I mentioned, I kind of was trying to really, I kind of was like not really trying to talk about it, but relationships are important when it comes to splitting finances. It's like, I mean, it's just no comparison. It's like, okay, it's like having, it's like playing a team sport. You rather have a teammate than just be, by yourself. Like, it just is what it is. Like, it's better. Two is usually better than one, especially if you have a particular relationship where you guys help each other out and it's not toxic. It's not no toxic relationship. You got some type of understanding. You got some type of cohesion. It could help a lot when it comes to paying bills, and it's just no comparison. I don't even know why I even have to even mention it, but you trying to do everything by yourself is it's going to be difficult. Now, finding somebody, it might be the idea of that is very, very difficult as well, because it's like a lot of people are, shall I say, just used to being single and trying to, share the life with someone else. Is just kind of, I guess, challenging for a lot of people at this point in time. But how I look at it related to the chessboard is you still need to focus on trying to keep trying to find someone, because it's like if you try to do everything by yourself, it's just not a good look. Like that I just can't emphasize that enough. Like, I know you might be in a situation where that's just the reality right now, but the overlay for the underplay is that you do better with someone else. I don't care if it is just a situation where if you're a guy, you just need a cheerleader. You need someone to cheer you on or give you some type of release, every now and again, to just kind of be PG about it. Me to give you some type of outlet where you don't have to go out, and be looking all the time. You got somebody else at home, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So that is, I can't point that out enough. I cannot point that out enough. Yeah, it definitely depends on the relationship. I think people need qualifiers when they're trying to meet somebody. I think it's like very similar to looking for an employee. Does this person qualify with at least most, or if not all, of my qualifications? And you got to stick with that. I think that's challenging for men to do, as well as probably women, because you might, be looking at attraction more or less than anything else. But one of the things I woke up this morning to just give a segue, this is kind of how I felt, because every time I go on Twitter, I've been trying to kind of stay away from strags as much as I can, because I can't be talking about simps and I'm looking at strags all the time on the internet. It just doesn't correlate. But one of the things that I kind of posted a little bit earlier. I think I downloaded this, but let me see here. It was just kind of on my mind because a lot of times people get involved in relationships. A lot of men get involved in relationships where it's kind of like this, and they themselves might be, it's like kind of in the same category. But this was what I woke up today. I was like, this was what, because I logged on to Twitter, and I noticed this, and I was like, this is just what I thought about. It's like, yeah, I'm just kind of sick and tired of these hoes. Like, I'm just sick of it, man. Every time I go online, I see BBLs, I see chicks showing their little the booty out, twerking, all of the type of stuff, and I'm just like, I know these women are not quality women. I know that. I got gray hairs. I got, what I'm saying, pretty much a lot of wisdom. And I understand that. I know these women are not quality women. And it's like, I shouldn't be looking at them in a sense of trying to see if I can have a relationship with this woman that's not quality. And people crashing out in different ways. This young woman here, she has a story to tell because she's very young. Okay, so you see the title right here. I'll just play this here.
Get unready with me while I talk about how being gifted a BBL for my 16th birthday ruined my life. Okay, so yes, it was a gift, but no, it was not pushed on me in any way. It was actually something I begged for, but I was 16. So I would say this ruined my life. Just having started my plastic surgery journey at such a young age, I would say I quite literally became addicted. I had 8 procedures by the time I was 21, many of which I regret. I'm talking about it now because I finally have started the journey of reversing my plastic surgery. I'm 22 now, so I did get my BBL years ago. So I would say it was before the whole BBL wave really took full effect. But again, for me, it was the age that I got my BBL. I don't have anything against BBLs. So I ended up just getting a lot of honestly unnecessary surgeries, and I would say in the end I ended up being more insecure than I was to begin with. So with my most recent body enhancement surgery that I had in 2022, I had major complications. I would go as far as to say I'm borderline disabled. I can't do any of the things I used to be able to do and I enjoy doing. I can't do yoga. I can't do, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things I can't do. Every decision that I make has to have an extra 2 seconds added on to be calculated. And you know what I mean? Like I have to actually calculate my movements to avoid causing further damage and pain. So starting at such a young age with the plastic surgery and seeing how easy it was to just go make all these alterations to your body, I started to see more and more flaws in myself. And I started to want to correct these flaws. But at what cost? You know what I mean? I'm physically, mentally worse off than I was prior to these surgeries. At 16, my body was still developing. You know what I mean? It was nowhere near its...
It used to be a time, not only that people used to get beat up, it used to be a time that parents used to get beat up. Yeah. It used to be a time that people's family and friends, when they saw their parents, they saw their friends, just basically being bad parents. They used to get beat up. Yeah, I just can't help to think that this young woman's parents letting her get BBLs and stuff at 16, that their parents, like their family didn't like beat up their parents. Because it's like, it's a time where it's just like, it's kind of like it goes past shame. It's like how you let your kid go get a BBL. I mean, you know, shaming does help, but I mean, it's like you come to someone and you tell them, you know, yeah, Jessica, we're gonna let her go get a BBL. She's getting ready for her junior prom and she wants a BBL. And you just be like, you know, that's your brother, and you know, your niece, that's her niece. And you be like, what? You about to let her get a BBL? What are you talking about? She's 16. She's getting ready for junior prom. I'll whoop your ass if you let her get a BBL. I am not lying too. You let her get a BBL, you let my niece get a BBL, I'm gonna beat your ass. I mean, it's like that used to be a thing, like, but now, you know, people got their own lives and, you know, they doing whatever they want to. You know, some people just have their own nuclear family and they don't really fuck with their family. They other family members and stuff like that. You know, families are getting distant. Especially a lot of Black families. I notice it's a lot more funerals than marriages or weddings, and definitely not that many cookouts, not that many family reunions. Families are getting distant, you know, because I think it has something to do with just kind of overall how society is and human competition and all of that stuff. People dying, you know, families dying, you know, that type of thing. And yeah, this just comes to mind when I think about it. Like this woman's parents definitely would qualify for a good ass whooping, you know, because they letting their, you know, daughter do whatever the fuck they want to.
Full, you know, I was still developing. I'm 16 years old. I feel like that clinic in Miami should have never, ever, ever allowed that to be a thing, as well as many other people. I highly, highly regret it. I don't recommend plastic surgery to anyone. I plan on speaking out more about it, but for tonight, I am going to go get in bed and bed rot.
So, I mean, this is crazy, but I mean, you know, it's just when you know, it's like, do you think that she came from a household where her parents beat her ass? Because I ain't gonna lie, like I grew up in a household that I get my ass whooped. And it helped me build character. I know you probably don't like that idea, but I don't think she came from a household where the rod was you know, definitely spared for her. In the Bible, it says, don't spare the rod. But you can tell the kids that grew up and the rod was spared. She's definitely one of them as well. I mean, you know, man, I mean, in India, man, that family probably got hit with sticks. And she definitely, the daughter, everybody got hit with sticks. And that's being kind. They probably got hit with stones. But yeah, man, it's just yeah, a lot of people crashing out, man. A lot of people doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like common sense ain't common anymore. You know, people just don't have the same faith anymore. You know, so they crashing out. So I'm gonna get ready to get up off of here, but I'm gonna leave you with something. You know, this is the power of you know, faith, man. Sometimes faith is all you need to get over a hump, get over a bad, dry, you know, patch.
What the Lord got for the Cleveland Browns. Okay? We don't have to see instant gratification. We don't have to see something good happen. We gotta believe. We gotta have that unwavering faith. And I got that. opportunity to make the most of it, man. And I believe in my crew. Who with me? Who with me?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.